I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Right.
Fucking thing sucks.
In 5, 4, 3.
Anyone claiming that America's economy is in decline is peddling fiction.
I've abandoned free market principles to save the free market system.
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
Raising the debt ceilings does not increase our debt. It does not somehow promote profligacy.
I know words. I have the best words. Nobody knows the system better than me, which is why I alone can fix it.
What's up, everybody? Happy Friday, and welcome back to the Peddling Fiction Podcast. I'm your host, the voice and soul of so-called fiction, Johnny Profita. And back with me for our one episode this week is Justin Hillbilly Boy Campbell. How you doing over there?
Oh, not too bad. Just trying to get through the rest of the week. It's like we were talking about before the show, we got storms coming in, so it's going to be kind of crazy. The really crazy thing is it's sunny and beautiful right now at like 85 degrees. And then in about 3 hours, it's supposed to become an absolute shit show for about 2 to 3 hours of tornadoes and hail. And then after that, it's supposed to clear off and be a really nice night for the rest of the night and nice all weekend. So yay for whatever the fuck is about to happen here in a couple hours.
Sounds like it's going to be pretty exciting.
Yeah, the Midwest, if you don't like the weather, wait a couple hours. It's going to change.
Yeah, man, I do. I've never been through a tornado. I don't think I'd like it. I don't think I would enjoy that. But the golf ball sized or baseball sized hail would be pretty fun to watch. As long as you don't own anything.
Yes, it is. It is really interesting to hear and to watch until you realize, oh fuck, my truck is sitting out there, and then it's like, oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
My truck is sitting.
Yeah, if you're just renting things, then it's beautiful.
That when we got quarter to golf ball sized hail at work one night a couple months ago, and I was like, they had been talking about it all night that it was going to be this really bad storm, how terrible it was going to be, and nothing ever happened. Like, it didn't even drizzle all night. It was a really nice night, and then out of nowhere, I was sitting at my desk and I hear just doom, 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 doom. I was like, what the hell is that? And walk and look out the window of the office and just hail coming down. I mean, just destroying everything. There was a guy that was loading a truck at the time, and he comes like flying up to the desk on his forklift. He goes, "Hey, that truck's destroyed." He said, "Hail is just blowing through the top of it." Like he was in there trying to load stuff on it, and all of a sudden just had like hail blasting through the roof of the trailer. It's like, it was nuts.
I wonder, like, how many people have been killed in hailstorms before?
Oh, that is a good question for Jay Forte. He would be the autist that would have that kind of information at the tip of his fingers.
Yes, we are doing a happy hour tonight. I am, at least. Are you going to be with us? Or are you working?
I'll be at work, assuming day shift didn't completely fuck everything over, which they've been doing a better job of late. I might be able to be on. But if you're doing it at 6:30, I probably won't be able to get on till like 8 or so.
Okay. Well, we can push it.
I say that first 2 hours of work for me is always just batshit crazy. Even if it's a slow night, that's always the toughest part of the night for me.
What time did everybody show up the last time we tried to do it? Like, we're like, right?
What, you sat there for about 45 minutes to an hour, and then like literally within 45 seconds of you logging off, Magoo and Jay Forte both logged on. So like,
Yeah, it was like sometime after 7, I think, right?
yeah, I mean, if you start at 7:30 or 8, that would probably be good. I know Magoo's been busy with work stuff, so it's hard for him to get away much earlier than that.
All right. Yeah, I'll think about that. I could probably go later. I mean, I am an hour behind you guys anyway, so.
If you're an hour behind me, you're 2 hours behind Magoo because he's over on East Coast time. So.
Yeah. It's been a rough couple of months, man, having to get, because I operate on East Coast time for the most part, so I'm very sleep deprived. I'll probably, like I was saying before the show, or I think before the show, that I'll be trying to take a nap after this. I didn't get much sleep, and I've been up since the crack of dawn over here.
Oh,
keeping an eye on these markets.
I say, speaking of not getting much sleep, Stephanie has been on night shift this week, and so she has not been getting. She is absolutely not built for night shift in any way. Like she can't sleep during the day, and it's kind of funny to me. I thought she would like night shift because it's, night shift is generally quiet and you don't have a lot of people to deal with, and she's not a big people person. But the lack of sleep has not been good for her. She also said to tell you suck. So,
all right. Did something bring that on, or just in general?
Because we do a show twice a week, and she thinks you're like, even though typically she's not here when we do the show, she's at work. But this week, because she's been home, whenever I've come out here to do the show, you've stolen me away from her, and so
I gave you back on Tuesday.
Yeah, I know.
You're getting a pat on the back for that. But yeah, my internet went out like right before we were supposed to start the show, and then it ended up coming back on like 5 or 10 minutes into it. But it it wasn't a great day for either of us, I think, to do it anyway. So,
and it's not like there's a whole hell of a lot going on either. I mean, that we've got Amy Coney Barrett pissed off the MAGA cult, which did you see or hear anything with that whole situation?
No, I don't even know what you're referring to, but she's been doing that a lot lately.
Yeah. Well, that's what Trump gets for putting a woman in the fucking Supreme Court. Like, he should have picked another like Gorsuch or Kavanaugh type, but he caved to the pressure of like, you have to replace what's her RBG with a woman, and like, you don't have to do that. You can be intelligent and put a man in there, and like as God intended in the founding fathers.
What did she do to piss off MAGA?
Nothing really. Okay, what she's doing is she's being a middle of the road Republican from the last 20 years, and obviously that's a big part of why we're in the position that we're in as a country anyway. But like, nothing that she's said or done over the last couple months has really been anything inflammatory or like anti-Trump. She is a normie con Republican from the like post Bush era, and that's it. And but because you have the MAGA cult that is pretty rabid in their own rights with being way over the top and extreme on stuff. Anytime somebody says the normie con opinion from 20 years ago about something, then they lose their shit. So it's a weird dynamic. It like at the time when the Republicans have the Democrats absolutely on their heels and have a chance to like slam the door in their face and keep them out of power for the next possibly 8 years. Instead, they're fucking around and fighting with each other over some dumb bullshit. I mean, you could legitimately end the Democrats right now if they would just get their heads out of their asses, because this is the best the Democrats have to offer right here.
I guess the way I would think about it is that our most important rights and freedoms are safe if and only if they apply across the board. So just like freedom of speech isn't freedom of speech if it's only for speech we agree with, right? It's why, as Voltaire said, I detest what you have to say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it, right? It is precisely with disagreeable speech that we prove that we really mean it when we say freedom of speech. Same thing with the rule of law. You know, they're saying like, oh, well, this guy, you know, he's a criminal. The whole point is that no one person, least of all, no one politician, gets to decide that you're a criminal. Who decides? We have.
You see him growing his little scraggly beard out, trying to look manly and impressive. Be more.
Yeah, that was Pete Buttigieg for the listening audience there, who is clearly going to be running for president. Like I said the last time we kind of covered him, like compared to the last couple of candidates they put out there, like he looks great, but just compared to like an actual decent candidate, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't see the first gay fucking president coming in right after Trump.
I mean, supposedly we already had one.
Yeah, first openly gay. Openly gay and openly first whatever husband.
Yeah,
not to be confused with Michael Obama.
Everybody knows Michelle is trans. Who was that?
That was the chick that died.
John River.
Yeah, John River.
Died literally that afternoon.
Yep. Routine cosmetic surgery.
Didn't wake up from it. Shame.
Interesting how that works out.
I was looking at some polling, and AOC in the polling that I've been seeing is the one who is currently like leading candidate, supposedly. There's also other polls that say Kamala Harris. None of the polls put Buttigieg in the top 5, and even top 5 is like the best I've seen is like maybe number 5 in the. Gavin Newsom is another one that's always on the list. AOC and Kamala are at the top of the list. Like JD Vance is going to be the candidate in 2028 unless Trump decides to run for a third term, which more power to him. I want nothing more than to see Trump decide that he's going to go for a third term. But assuming he doesn't do that, it's going to be JD Vance. And like, can you imagine JD Vance just mopping the floor with AOC or Kamala Harris on a debate stage?
Yeah, I mean, well, I guess it depends on who's moderating the debate and how they do it. Because you remember when they were just like they were like fact checking Donald Trump live on the show, fact checking like the way CNN does, and then just letting Kamala Harris get away with fucking murder.
Well, so they would have. I feel like that's a tactic that doesn't work as well with JD Vance because he has proven in multiple interviews he handles the press really well. Like they have trouble hitting him with stuff like that where he doesn't hit them back and make them look like absolute dipshits.
Yeah, that is true, but it will depend on how the Trump term goes, though. I mean, if this ends up being a fucking unmitigated disaster in the back half of this decade, like economic wise, there's a lot of stuff that we're going to get into in the show today that just illustrates how fucked we are as a nation. So I mean, it would be it'd be kind of like when McCain had to come in after Bush. It's just like it didn't matter. Like McCain was a terrible fucking candidate, but like you could have had anybody running after George Bush, and it's just like a Republican was not going to win that election. Regardless of who you put up there. So maybe one of these rejects from the Democratic Party has a pretty good chance, depending on how this this Trump term goes. But it's just amazing to like, how many times do these people need to get rejected? Politicians are so fucking shameless, dude. They're so fucking shameless. Like, if I ran for president the way, like, and it went the way it went for Kamala Harris or Pete Buttigieg or Joe Biden, like the first 8 times he ran, like, I would take the hint after the first time. Like, what changes? What's going to take you from being the first person eliminated with getting like no percentage of the fucking vote to becoming president? Like, her policy, like, nothing. These people are like 50, 60 years old. I mean, AOC is much younger, but it's like, you're not going to change your position. Like, you're not going to convince me that you've changed your position on something after being on the planet for 50 years. All of a sudden, like 4 years later, you've done a 180-degree turn on something. Like, I'm calling bullshit on that. So why would you think that if you just, this time the American people are going to accept you after you just lost in the most embarrassing fashion ever to Donald Trump, of all people? I mean, that was a fucking ass whooping that Kamala Harris took, dude. Just complete ass. She lost every swing state and the popular vote to literally Hitler. So, I mean, the idea of putting her up again is mind-boggling to me. AOC, I mean, I guess she's got like a following. I don't see her ever winning the presidency, but like at least she has like some sort of like grassroots energy behind her. Kamala Harris is nothing, and Pete Buttigieg is all fucking forced too. It's all forced. Nobody really likes that guy. I mean, he's just like, what state was he from? He's like the fucking mayor of some shit.
He was mayor of a small town here in Indiana, I think it was.
Yeah, it was Indiana. I mean, like, where the fuck? Who's gonna vote for this guy? I don't see it. But like I said, it might just be a fucking last Democrat standing wins by default because we enter into an economic disaster. What's Jay Forte going on about here?
He said
oh yeah.
South Bend, so basically Chicago extended.
Yeah, that was a great comment. We played that comment last week about him riding his bike with his fucking like, dude, could you imagine? Like, there's just no. I don't see the U.S. going from like alpha male Donald Trump to fucking beta butt plug Pete Buttigieg. I just don't see it. I can't. I'm sorry, dude. That's just like having a president who gets like fucking pegged every night is not going to go over well with the American people.
Well, and the thing is, there is
stage.
So Democrats are not currently doing well with the younger demographics, even with AOC. Like, they have lost touch based on a lot of polling and stuff. And a lot of the like younger demographic, especially younger men, or boys in the ones who are going to be of voting age come 2028, the current 16 to like 22-year-old range, they are really not happy with a lot of the woke progressive bullshit that's been going on in society. And by and large, they are so we've talked about, how the pendulum swings. Well, the pendulum swung too far to the left with all the progressive crazy bullshit. And now it's swinging back, maybe arguably too far to the right with some of these like young men in that age range that not only are they like rejecting the woke progressive bullshit, they are running in the opposite direction as hard as fast as they can, and like, even to me, a little bit concerning in some areas. But it's like, hey, I mean, that's like, this is what you created. This is like,
every action has an equal and opposite reaction or whatever force. Yeah. Well, the other thing is like, dude, I know AOC is like young for a presidential candidate, but like the way these kids view adults today, I don't think they really see a difference between like the age of AOC and Kamala Harris. Even though there's like 20 years there, they're basically the same. They're old people. And then there's like, so there's that age range, which like 35 to 55, I feel like is just kind of the same. Just these are just old people. And then after that, it's like your fucking Joe Biden geriatric level.
Yeah, you may as well just be dead.
Yeah. Yeah. So AOC is no fucking spring chicken anymore. Like she's not cool and hip. She still tries to be, but she's, you know, she's a fucking MILF to those guys.
And the funny thing is she does like these Instagram reels and videos and stuff. Like she's trying really hard to be cool and hip and young, and like it's just not.
No, I mean, dude, remember that? What was that like? Fucking choose your fighter video that they came out with a couple months ago. We made fun of that. It was, yeah. These are not cool people, dude. Politicians are fucking dorks. All of them. They're all a bunch of fucking losers. Like that's why I never understood why people get like so attached. They just like love these politicians. I mean, the only one that I could understand getting behind somebody like Ron Paul, who like fucking makes great, intelligent arguments and comments and has like a worldview that makes sense. But to like get behind a politician who's like a fucking just a career politician, loser, an empty fucking suit that has nothing interesting to say ever. And these people will fucking carry water for them all day long. I don't understand it. I understand why Trump has a fucking crazy cult following. And that Trump derangement syndrome, that does cut both ways. Like these, like there's nothing Trump can do wrong in the eyes of like hardcore fucking MAGA cultists. And then there's nothing he can do right on the other side. It's been pretty funny to just watch like with the South African immigration, where it's just like all of a sudden now the left is anti-immigration because we're bringing in white people and we hate white people.
Well, and that and the whole fucking argument that they're making on that is completely retarded. They're talking about, oh, I thought we didn't want immigrants. I thought we were trying to no, they're deporting the illegals, the ones who came here illegally. They're not deporting the legal immigrants, the refugees who came here seeking asylum. They're deporting illegal aliens. But like these people are too fucking stupid to understand that there's a difference between these things. They just know it's somebody who's not originally from the U.S. Like the way that they have really put on full display just how ignorant they are about everything that they claim to care about and that's the beauty of Trump, is he brings that out of them. Like they cannot help but be complete dipshits in the most public vocal way.
Well, he just, like I said, he should just keep doing things that are like completely that the left claims that they care about. Just show them. I mean, we're going to get into some Republican like absolute hypocrisy here when we go over the one big beautiful bill, but it's just so funny. Like he could take up any hardcore left-wing cause and just watch them walk it back immediately just because Donald Trump is for it.
Well, and like what Magoo was talking about, like it's family units that are coming from South Africa, which South Africa is in the midst of, for lack of a better way of putting it, an ethnic cleansing. The black South Africans have decided to get rid of all the white people. So like it's family units that are coming here. Like the big difference between that and all of the refugee migration that's happened from the Middle East over the last, 10 years or so is most of that was like, number one, most of that was like fighting age men. It wasn't a whole lot of family units. There were women and children here and there, but a lot of it was like the bulk fighting age men and also they were coming from a part of the world where there are plenty of other countries right there that they could go to where they have their own people. Like the ones in South Africa, where are they going to go? Like further into Africa where it's even
Well,
less
that's the
hospitable?
other thing. It's just like, yo, don't you want to get the colonizers out of Africa? You should bring them over to the U.S., like the country founded by like we're all colonizers over there. I'm not in there anymore, but it's just like it makes perfect sense. You know, you got to get those white people out of Africa. They don't belong, right? Those evil colonizers. So they should. Where else would they go? I mean, yeah, they could go back to like the European countries, or they could go to the country founded by colonizers for colonizers. And yeah, I don't know. They just like, these are farmers that have been. The other thing is just like watching them downplay the persecution of them. It's like, well, only like a certain number of them have been fucking killed on their farm. It's just like, yeah, they've had like a stated goal that they want to fucking wipe these people off the fucking face of the earth. And it's just like, yeah, we can. What is you're willing to take? And we used to see you'd see those pictures of those caravans coming in with like thousands of fighting aged Middle Eastern men who have no desire to assimilate to American values. And then you have these, every fucking picture and video I saw, it was just like a family, like a husband, wife, and 2 kids carrying. And they had their luggage that like really pissed them off. They're like, oh, they're not refugees. They have possessions. It's just like, it's just watching them try to shit on this sort of immigration versus, and like, go to bat for like the guy that got sent back to El Salvador, the El Salvadorian wife beating gang member. It's unbelievable to watch them just jump back and forth between these retarded positions. Like they can't help themselves. It is the most beautiful thing that Trump can do. It's like, oh, you guys love immigration, right? Okay. Yeah. I'm going to bring in a bunch of white farmer families who are being abused in South Africa. And now I could just watch them do a 180-degree turn and hate immigration and just basically show they hate white people.
Remember the bishop, the woke bishop that gave the lecture at her sermon when Trump, okay. So, talking about needing to accept everyone and be inclusive, she's Episcopalian. The Episcopalian Church officially rejected refugees. They're not from South Africa. They're not having it. So I guess so much for all of her, like, kumbaya, let's all get along shit.
Yeah. Well, and it's just, I mean, it's amazing to watch the hatred and vitriol that people have, because when these Afrikaners or whatever are coming in, they're intact families, people, like they're carrying their possessions. They have like an American flag. Like they looked excited to fucking get into America and be Americans. And it's just like, dude, the fact that they were like carrying American flags would piss these people off. Now, if they were coming in from fucking Somalia with a fucking Somalian flag, they'd be all for it. They'd be all for it. It really is just stunning to watch, like how many like self-loathing white people there are in the U.S. that just can't fucking get over, like they just hate white people. It's hilarious to me. They wouldn't be welcomed in any one of these other countries going in there as a fucking, I hate myself because I'm white. Let me pay, whatever. I don't know, dude. It's hilarious to me to watch this. And how many people was it? It was like 8,000 or something.
I mean, the ones that they're mad about was like 50. There were like, there were 50. They're mad about 50. Let in millions upon fucking millions of people that are actively trying to destroy shit, that don't speak English, that don't share a culture, that aren't family units, that are just coming here and taking up hotel space in a lot of cases. Like Yeah, it's fucking nuts. It's 50. I think 49 was the exact number from that.
Okay. Yeah. Again, dude, they just take the most retarded positions and fight the most retarded battles. I can't imagine them ever winning an election again. I just can't see it, dude. I mean, obviously, like with the economy teetering, that's the only X factor here. If it just keeps churning along kind of the way it is, I don't see a path to victory for any of these people, dude. There's just, because government's so involved in every aspect of your lives, and these decisions, like these are the kinds of decisions that people, they feel them on like a fucking daily basis. If you have 10 million fucking illegal immigrants taking up hotel space and like destroying entire neighborhoods in Chicago, and like people feel that immediately. They're not going to feel a lot of shit from the Trump administration. Nobody's going to feel these 49. Like if they didn't cover this story, nobody would even notice. It's just a blip on the fucking radar. But the things that, the government's doing these days, especially from like the leftist playbook, people are feeling that on a daily basis, and nobody really likes it. Even the people that claim to support it, they don't like it. Remember when they sent all those refugees to like Martha's Vineyard? What happened with that? They were sent back immediately. Nobody wants these people as their neighbors. They want them as long as they're your fucking problem over there, and they can fucking grandstand and say all the right things and suffer none of the consequences of their retarded political views. So I don't know. They have terrible candidates. They have terrible ideas, and they are incapable of criticizing the Trump and the Trump administration effectively. Like there's plenty of things that you can go after him for, but when you jump all over this, and you jump all over like an abusive El Salvadorian piece of shit, trying to get him back. Like how many fucking hours and flights and words were spent on that fucking piece of shit? Close fist beats his fucking wife and girlfriend. They want him back. They would go to the ends of the earth to get him back. But yeah, bringing in a couple of families, a couple of who might start farming over here for us. Oh no, can't do that. That's white supremacy. We're importing white supremacy now.
Like Forte said, I have more in common with these Afrikaners than I do with most cosmopolitans in the U.S. These are African farmers. South African farmers. We actually had a guy and his brother who had come over to work here in the States for a while back last year. And they were in our local farm community back home where I'm from. And aside from like a little bit of, like, even though they speak perfectly fluent English, there is, I guess, Kentucky redneck is different from proper English. So there were still some like, failure to translate kind of things that would happen from time to time, but it was more like just local dialects and stuff like that and getting used to it. But other than that, like they came and they worked and they had jobs and they went to church and they came to the church barbecue supper. They hung out with everybody. Like they were just normal folks in hillbilly land, except they had a little bit of a funny accent.
Well, I don't know what else to say other than it's interesting to watch them reveal themselves. These are just horrible people. And like you pointed out, like just stupid people as well, because it's either you're just stupid or a liar, right? Like you're telling me you can't understand the difference between legally processed immigration and just having people flood over the border claiming asylum from passing through 40 other countries on the way. It's just like,
right? Why are you gonna walk from fucking South America all the way to the U.S. border when you just went through like a bunch of other places where you could have stayed, where the people are, look like
Mexico's
you and
fine. Yeah,
have your
I'm in Mexico right now.
speak the same language as you, like everything. And like,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
talked
just
about it
the best
before,
of
but
the
like
best.
Haiti and the Dominican Republic share a fucking island. Why can't the Haitians just go to the other side of the island? Oh, wait, because they won't let them. They keep the Haitian Dominican border is more tightly locked down than the North and South Korean border. Like, there is nobody crossing that.
I mean, I watched what the fucking Haitians have done to places like fucking Napoli and fucking Italy, man. It's covered with Haitians, and the place is covered in graffiti and trash, and there's just fucking loitering everywhere.
I mean, all you got to do is look at what the Haitians did to Haiti. Like after they overthrew their colonizer oppressors back in the 80s and took over and started running things for themselves, the whole thing turned into a complete and utter shithole. Like when Donald Trump called it a shithole country, he was not wrong.
No, he wasn't. That was a great. Yeah, it's like calling a spade, and then watching them have to defend Haiti. That's great. A lot of comparisons have been made with South Africa to Zimbabwe. Apparently, Zimbabwe did a similar thing where they drove all the white farmers out who were responsible for like 70. Well, they had 70% of the land, or like 95% of the fucking food that was produced in the country was from these farmers. Drove them out, and then immediately started starving to death.
I don't know if we've talked about it before, but on this show, we've talked about it on the morning show. Jackson, Mississippi is kind of an example of that. So like bunch of, like affluent white folks ran Jackson, Mississippi for a long time. And then the black population of Jackson just kept getting more and more radicalized and insane. And so all of the white people moved out and started their own suburbs all around Jackson. And then everything in Jackson started falling apart. Like the roads started falling apart. The water treatment plants started falling apart. Like nobody was left to maintain any of this stuff or who knew what the fuck was going on with anything. And so then they're like, then it's racism because everybody left and now they have to try to figure out how to keep all this shit running. It's like, or like maybe you shouldn't have ran everybody off that actually knew what the fuck was going on. I don't know. You get to sleep in the bed.
Be careful what you wish for. Like, I don't know. Farming's pretty important. I guess, yeah, if you, I don't know, man. Like these people, they think they have like a right to this land or something. I don't know. Okay, sure. Take it back. I'll be very interested to check in on South Africa in like 5 or 6 years. See how they're doing. I wonder, can I short South Africa?
Can we swap that? Can we do like a swap? We'll trade 8,000 South Africans for 8,000 South Chicagoans, and
that'd be good. Or yeah, I mean, all these people that resent being in the U.S. because of slavery, swap them out.
Right, there's opportunity. You can go to South Africa and help rebuild. Right, help rebuild a strong black nation that's getting rid of the colonizers. Like, I mean, there's your opportunity.
Do it. Like, go ahead, do it. And I would love to see the results in 10 years. I'll give you 10, 15 years, turn it around. Show me all the progress you're making over there. And I wish you the best. I honestly do. But yeah, all these fantasy claims that like all these amazing things were invented in Africa and the white man just stole everything from them. Yeah. Okay. And like you said, like how come wherever they go, they end up being just as successful, if not more so. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, we got to talk about some of this Trump stuff, dude.
All right, you want to do the Trump? You want to do the Trump tax bill, or do you want to do the student loan delinquencies? Because
let's do the big beautiful bill first. Have you looked into this at all?
Not really.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I'm not seeing any articles that detail like what's in these bills. So I ended up going to Grok to get the details of it. It's just easier. But this is, that article there. Just, I guess there's a bunch of Republicans. Like, I don't know who any of these guys are. Clyde, Roy, Norman, Smucker. I don't know who the fuck these guys are, but they're apparently taking a principled stand on this. But when you actually hear what they're upset about, it has nothing to do with the fact that this is they want to add $4 trillion to the debt ceiling. So I got the key components of Trump's one big beautiful bill. And let's see, $4.5 trillion in tax cuts. Apparently, the bill includes significant tax reductions, 100% expensing for U.S. investments to encourage business spending, eliminates tax on tips, overtime pay, and Social Security benefits, interest deductions for purchases of American-made cars, extends provisions of the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, so lower individual and corporate tax rates. Yeah, critics argue that these tax cuts disproportionately benefit high-income earners and corporations. Yeah, because they're the ones that pay all the fucking tax. Like, I'm sorry, dude, for all the retards out there, saying that tax cuts disproportionately benefit rich people is not an argument. That's just stating the obvious, because they're the ones that are paying all the fucking taxes.
Yeah, that's
obviously they're going to be disproportionately affected.
That's basic math.
Spending cuts, $2 trillion in total cuts over time. It doesn't say how much time. I can ask some follow-ups. Well, yeah, I think it was 10 years. Right? So here's the Medicaid, the $880 billion in cuts. Food stamps and housing programs are reductions between $1.5 trillion and $2 trillion. Wait, that can't be right. Those numbers can't be. We're not spending $1.5 trillion on fucking SNAP.
I wouldn't.
Even in 10 years, that can't be right, can it?
I wouldn't doubt it.
Jesus.
Here's the principled stance that the dude. So it was 4 of them actually opposed it, and then from reading the article, the 5th one, they project the 5th one wasn't necessarily against it. He wanted to make sure that they would have the ability to come back to reconsider it and discuss it further. So that's why he voted no. But like the ones who opposed it, listen to their unreasonable demands and why they didn't want to approve Trump's big bill. Their demands include a faster phase-in of Medicaid work requirements, a ban on undocumented immigrants receiving federal benefits, and immediate termination of Inflation Reduction Act clean energy provisions. Isn't this all stuff that like Trump was supposed to be doing anyway? So why wasn't why is Trump and the MAGA cult mad at these guys for blocking this bill when the things that they want from this bill are the things that Trump is supposed to be doing anyway?
Yeah, and of course, Trump is flipping out at them for opposing his big, beautiful bill. They must get in line. To me, the $4 trillion debt ceiling increase is the reason to oppose this bill. I mean, these are the fiscally conservative Republicans, right? I mean, this is a fucking joke. We're already at 37 trillion. So this is going to raise it to 41 trillion. And they're going to spend that immediately. This is like, I've renamed this the debt target. It's not a ceiling. It's just what they're aiming for. And they hit it faster and faster. So yeah, 4 trillion increase in the debt ceiling. I bet they'll hit that way before Trump's term is over. They estimate that the bill could increase the national debt by 37 trillion over 3 decades, 3x that in 30 years. Are you kidding me? It only took us fucking 20 to get to 37 trillion this time. Like it's what George Bush, he left like 5 trillion, right? Yeah, and we're at 37 now, and that was in what 2008.
Yeah,
I think 37 trillion over the next 3 decades. No, 37 trillion per decade. Yeah, more like it. The debt's growing exponentially faster. 300 billion for border security, another 150 billion increase in defense budget. Blah bitty blah blah. Yeah, I mean that's mostly what's in it. Funding cuts, Medicare, block grants, shit like that. None of those, like we talked about that on a prior episode. These aren't actual cuts to fucking Medicare. Medicare was going to grow by, I forget the numbers, but so it was going to grow by 880 billion less over the next 10 years.
Right. They're not cutting it. They're just slowing down the rate at which it's ballooning.
Yeah.
Like
of course.
The air is still filling up the balloon. They're just cutting the flow back a little bit.
Yeah. So like Republicans get to pretend that they're actually cutting something when they're not. And then the Democrats act like the sky is falling and that nobody's going to be able to get health care because they're cutting 880 billion over 10 years, which is fucking nothing, even if that was an actual cut, but it's not. And then, I see all these, did I flag any of those posts? I might have, but like all these people like, oh, like 70 million Americans are going to lose their healthcare because these cuts. It's like, wait a minute, dude, why are there so many fucking people on government health insurance? Like, this is not.
And how many of those people who are going to lose their benefits wouldn't even have them if they weren't required to buy Obamacare, which still hasn't gone anywhere.
Yeah, there's that. And I think I've told the story before when like my sister was going to buy private health insurance, but it didn't qualify for the Obama horseshit, Obamacare requirements, because like you had to have like all this extra coverage that she didn't need. And so instead of buying the private, like she just went on the fucking government dole. It's like they force people into it, and then they create this dependence on it, and then they fucking freak out anytime somebody wants to cut like just a little bit of it. Where am I? I know I replied to somebody. Hang on, give me just a second here. Let's see here. Where did it go? Where did it go? Because it was some lady talking about all this spending and these cuts. Yeah, here it is. Okay. Oh, I can't view the post anymore. All right.
That means either it got deleted or you got blocked.
It says, yeah, the account owner limits who can view their posts. I must have gotten blocked by my comment because she was talking about yeah. All I said was now factor in the unfunded liabilities from Medicare. Oh, yeah. She said, what's driving the deficits is not Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. It's tax cuts for billionaires and things like that. And she's like, this is how we got to 37 trillion in debt was not from these huge government spending programs. It was because we gave rich people tax breaks. And I was just like, okay, just factor in the unfunded liabilities because the 37 trillion is just what they've actually borrowed. Put that out into the future, and it's hundreds of trillions of dollars from those 3 programs alone. Obviously, that's what's fucking bankrupting us. It was just a retarded position. But yeah, I guess I got blocked by her. Whatever, no big loss there.
Or she got blown up, and like the replies to that post just completely blew up, and so
that might have been it. Yeah, she just
restricted her account so nobody could see or talk to her unless she actually followed.
Yeah.
Who's your most high profile block? Like who's blocked you that?
I have no idea.
Oh.
Probably nobody. I don't really reply to a lot of things. I kind of just I'll just like retweet it with a quote or something.
My best one was is Carrie Ewells, the guy that played the Dread Pirate Roberts in The Princess Bride. Whenever he blocked me, that was pretty cool. I actually made the kids watch The Princess Bride that day after he blocked me. I was like, hell yeah! Like, it's still a good movie. I ain't mad about it.
All right. Let's see what else we got here. Donald Trump. So,
Jay.
Did you see this $400 million plane that Trump's getting from
What?
Qatar? You haven't seen this?
No.
Oh man. Yeah, this is. Dude, I don't know why Trump does these. I mean, he does give them a lot of just like low hanging fruit to fuck with. Qatar wants to gift Donald Trump this massive fucking plane to use as Air Force One. It's worth $400 million. They call it like a flying palace or something. So Trump wanted to have a new Air Force One built by Boeing in his first term. He started this, and Boeing still hasn't completed it, and they're like way behind. And so fast forward to today, and Qatar wants to give him a $400 million jet to fly around with. And then after his term, it gets donated to the Donald Trump Presidential Library. And he's saying that he's not going to use it after that. Like, I don't know. It'd just be like, was it Reagan's fucking plane that's just sitting there as like a tourist attraction? But this thing's fucking, it's only like 14 years old or something like that. So his kids are going to be flying around in this fucking thing.
Here you go. Hard-hitting reporting from NPR covering the story. Trump accepting a plane from Qatar could be a national security risk. Here's how.
Yeah, well, I mean, it does. Like, I don't know if I'd want to fly on the, like, I wouldn't want to be on the maiden voyage after I get this thing from another government. But, yeah, I have a bunch of different reporting on this. ABC. I mean, they all picked up this story and ran with it because it's blatant fucking corruption. Like, I forget, like he was doing some sort of deal over there. He's building like I don't know if these numbers are correct, $5.5 billion golf resort. I don't know how you spend that much money on a golf resort, but maybe it's possible. So he announces that deal in Qatar, and then Qatar gives him this fucking plane. But it's just like, I don't know, dude. There's something I love about how fucking nakedly corrupt Donald Trump is about this whole thing. Like, under the Biden administration and the Obama administration and the Bush administration and every other administration, they're all doing this shit, but it's behind closed doors, and they're running it through shell corporations, 15 different fucking shell corporations to obfuscate what's going on. And Donald Trump's just like, hey, they're offering me a plane. I'd be an idiot not to take it. He's doing it because he's like, yeah, it's like I'm saving $400 million instead of having to buy a new Air Force One. I'm getting it for free. Why I'd have to be stupid not to take this deal. But yeah, then he gets to kind of keep it at his own presidential library or whatever. Oh man, it's just blatant fucking yeah. And he's got the executive club or whatever that we talked about on the last episode for $500,000. You can get access to the fucking president.
Hell yeah.
Trump coins, Ivanka coins. Like they're just doing it right out in the open. There's something I really like about that. I just wish people would realize that this is always going on. He's just flaunting it because he's Donald Trump, and Donald Trump fucking flaunts his shit. Oh yeah, dude, that'd be so funny if he used the plane to fucking just deport people. We needed another plane to deport people in fucking style. Oh, that'd be great.
They can't complain about them being mistreated when they're being deported. It's like, I mean, we're putting them on like luxury accommodations to ship them the fuck out of here.
Yeah. But dude, I mean, the most ridiculous, I mean, this is Donald Trump's best talent that we were talking about before. Hillary Clinton comes out and tweet. Do you have the Hillary Clinton thing that I sent you?
Yeah, hang on.
No one gives someone a $400 million jet for free without expecting anything in return. Be serious. Hillary Clinton.
Everyone quickly pointed out the hypocrisy given the Clinton Foundation's history of accepting substantial donations from Arab states, including Qatar, during her tenure as Secretary of State.
Yeah, this article goes on to say she got like $40 million worth of stuff from them, I think. Or 40 million from like a combination, like in total, maybe from like Qatar, Saudi Arabia. This is all the Clinton Foundation with, huh?
Yeah, reminder: the Clinton Foundation received more than 40 million from 4 Arab states, including Qatar.
Yeah, look, dude, this is just to come out. I mean, the balls on Hillary Clinton. She's absolutely. I agree with her. And if anybody knows how these fucking deals work, it's her. This is like when Bernie Madoff came out and said, "I wasn't running the biggest Ponzi scheme. The United States government is." And it's just like, oh, yeah. I mean, we should probably listen to him because he knows a little something about running Ponzi schemes. If anybody knows how these fucking quid pro quo deals work with other countries, it's the fucking Clintons, dude. It's absolutely the Clintons. So yeah, obviously Qatar's wants to get something in return, or will get something in return, or already has gotten something in return for this, obviously. Man, dude, to come out there and just shameless, absolutely shameless, and has no fear of any like sort of repercussions. The Clintons are just like fucking untouchable, man. Remember how much money dried up immediately when she lost to Donald Trump?
Yeah, that was nuts.
Oh my god. Oh my god. But yeah, dude, just imagine that. I think, did she shut off the comments on that tweet?
Probably.
What's the ratio? Let's pull it up. Yeah. You can't reply. So you can't even see the number of like comments either. Got 90,000 likes. Unbelievable. Yeah. So yeah, Donald Trump's just fucking everything's for fucking sale. It really is unbelievable. Somebody was pointing it out. Was it? It wasn't Bob Murphy, but it was Bob Murphy. Like Bob Murphy's like point that he always makes when Trump criticizes all the cheap shit we get from China. Like, oh yeah, China's screwing us over by selling us all these cheap goods. Imagine if they were to give it to us for free. And Donald Trump's basically making the exact same argument where he's like, hey, they're giving me a free plane. I'd be an idiot not to take it. But look at the trade deficit we now have with Qatar and planes. Shouldn't he want to build that in America and get the jobs and the money and like have to spend money on that instead of getting it for free, right? I mean, that's the whole argument with China. It's just so funny. It's so funny, man. But yeah, obviously taking a $400 million jet for free would be better than having to pay for it. Although I did see, I don't know if I sent you this, CNN doing great work as usual. They say that it's going to cost us an additional $800 million to retrofit this thing and like make sure it's secure. Should we play this clip? Hang on, let me oh god, I have so many windows open, I'm gonna get overwhelmed. Let's see, which X thing is it? This one? Yeah. Oh, got it on the first try.
And the capability to refuel. Let's look at the capabilities of this unique plane, maybe the most unique aircraft in this country. Look, it has to have highly secure communication systems that nobody can hack into, nobody can read. It needs to have defensive systems to avoid missiles that might be fired at it or any other kind of weapons. The ability to shield against electromagnetic pulse. What that means is every wire in this plane has to be shielded in such a way that it can't be taken out from without. And the capability to refuel in flight. Remember, George W. Bush operated from this plane on 9/11 because that's what you do to make sure you have a safe command center in the sky. Doing all of that on a plane of any sort, but particularly one that's been gifted to you from another country, where and security analysts say you basically have to take the whole thing apart and put it back together to make sure there are no bugs, no built-in failures that have been put in there, could take up to 2 years. Now remember, there are new Air Force Ones on the way that Donald Trump negotiated. They are on the way. Will they be done in time for him to use? We don't know, but presidents don't do it for themselves. They do it for the next president, for the country. Up to 2 years to do that. And in that time, here's the really key part to bear in mind. Making all of those changes to this free gift is estimated to cost maybe 3 times as much as the value of the free gift. And then allegedly this goes to his private, presidential library, his presidential library. In other words, for this free plane, American taxpayers may pay an additional $800 million for 2 years of use. 2 years because this president, because he says he's been made this offer, and he doesn't want to wait for the planes that we're already paying for to get ready. Those are a lot of practical reasons why people who may say politically they like him, they don't like him, they agree with him, they don't agree with him, may say, why are you taking this supposed free gift when there are huge ethical questions about it and a lot of practical and financial questions too?
Yeah. Dude, I can't believe it cost that $1 billion to retrofit a fucking plane. Jesus.
That seems a bit inflated.
Seems high.
Yeah.
It does seem high, but it is the government here. So obviously they're not trying to cut costs anywhere. Could you imagine getting that fucking job bid? Yeah, it's just a no bid job from the Defense Department or something. I don't know. But yeah, so much for the free plane. But it is just, yeah, when I first heard this story, I was like, dude, that just sounds a little unsecure. Take a fucking plane from another country. I don't think I'd want to fly in that if I was Donald Trump. It doesn't sound like he's going to if it takes 2 years to fucking get it done. But yeah, afterwards, after all that's done, then his fucking family just gets to use it in perpetuity. Because it's like the fucking presidential foundation or whatever gets to keep it. And what does that foundation do? Well, they go around the fucking world and get donations. Must be nice. Must be fucking nice. I guess if you pay $500,000 to go to the executive club, you can cozy up to fucking Don Jr. and then get a seat on the fucking jet when they go fucking gallivanting around the world. Must be fucking nice. So, yeah, that's got the left in a tizzy. I think rightfully so. That's a legitimate criticism. I think taking fucking planes and shit. I remember when I worked in finance, I wasn't allowed to take more than like $75 gift. Because it could influence my who I would fucking do trades with.
All right, so 800 million to fix up this plane would still be a deal. The deal with Boeing to build 2 new Air Force Ones was for $3.9 billion, and they're nowhere even remotely close. So like 800 million in 2 years would be a speed up and a cost savings. So
yeah. And I mean, like, I don't understand why it was like one of the provisions was like they could give it to him as long as he donates it to his foundation or something afterwards. Like, I don't understand why this just wouldn't be the permanent Air Force One going forward after they do all this work to it.
Right. Like,
just leave it there. And then I don't think there's a fucking issue with it. But when you get to personally keep it for your fucking foundation, like, then it gets really fucking shady. Now you're getting a fucking personal plane. Yeah, it's like it's fucking ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, just keep it as Air Force One. Do all the security shit you got to do. And now we have a new fucking plane. great deal by Donald Trump. But yeah, if he gets to keep it for the library, like a library doesn't need a fucking luxury jet, a flying palace. Trump's got his own fucking plane anyway. I don't know. But it is just pretty goddamn hilarious to like just watch him openly do like and just bragging about it. It's like, yeah, I got a great deal. Be an idiot not to take it. Oh man, they're freaking out about it. So I don't know exactly. I don't know if like Congress has to decide whether or not he can accept it. I forget exactly how this works, but I don't think it's a done deal yet. But
yeah, he would have to have congressional approval. But...
yeah, now shove it into that big beautiful bill. Isn't that the way we do things? Just keep piling stuff in there that's not related.
Hell yeah.
The big, beautiful fucking bill. Yeah. Oh, did I lose my grok thing? Oh, shit. Yeah. All right. Okay, coming up on time here. What else we got? So much shithole Chicago stuff. Like we probably have to do a whole episode on it.
That can be Tuesday's episode. We can just do nothing but shithole Chicago.
I mean, dude, every day I'm seeing more just craziness coming out of that goddamn city. It really is something. Oh, that Wisconsin judge got indicted for fucking smuggling the illegal out of her courtroom. She pled not guilty.
Of course. I mean, when they when they find the person in your house, how do you plead not guilty to that? That's the
unreal. And dude, she literally like shoot him out like the back door. She like held up ICE at the courtroom with some like bullshit about them needing a warrant, which they didn't. And while she was distracting them, she fucking pushed him out the back door. Just like, it really is unbelievable. It's pleading not guilty, facing up to 6 years in prison and like a couple $100 million in fines, or a couple million in fines, 6 million in fines. I don't know. I hope they throw the fucking book at her. Let's make an example of these goddamn activist judges. Sick of it. Oh yeah. So the two other things that I wanted to talk about was this New York inflation refund check. Did you see this?
That's going to help. I mean, obviously, if
yeah,
if there's a problem, just cut a check. That'll make people happy.
So this is kind of interesting, though. Yeah, because so I don't know. The one thing I was going to ask Grok is what the New York fucking budget is looking like. These, like, do they have some sort of surplus I don't know about to be cutting these inflation checks? So basically, what Kathy Hochul or whatever her fucking name is, what she said is because inflation was so high over the last few years, particularly in New York, they got all this extra tax revenue in from sales tax because of the increased prices. And they want to give some of that back to these citizens. So they're going to cut checks like based on your income level and your tax return or whatever. It's like you'll get a $400 check or a $300 check or like a $200 check, depending on how much you make. The less you make, the less you paid in sales tax. So the smaller check you would get. But inflation, like this is inflationary, which is just the funniest. Unless they have some sort of budget surplus, I don't see how this is not just going to cause more inflation. I like that the fact that the government's not going to get the money. So they're taking money from the government and giving it back to the people, but do they have any money to give them? And we're going to ask Grok, is New York's budget surplus? Let's see. Because if they don't have this money, like I don't understand whether they just borrow it from the federal government, who prints it. It's like the fiscal year 2025 projected 2.34 billion. So maybe they do have the money for it.
I just can't see how they spent literally years begging all the net payers to stop fleeing the state. And I can't see how they, like, what kind of Okay, is this the same kind of goofy math that like California had a $66 billion budget or a billion dollar surplus,
Yeah.
and then it went from a $66 billion surplus to an $80 million deficit or whatever, $80 billion deficit within like 6 months? Like they're just doing goofy math to make it look like it's really good, even though it's actually not good.
Yeah, well, so what's interesting is like the first sentence is they have a projected surplus of 2.34 billion for this fiscal year, driven by stronger than expected tax revenues and reduced cost for asylum seeker services. Thank you, Donald Trump. This surplus is expected to help balance the city's $116.9 billion budget. So then I was like, do they have a balanced budget? Yes, with no deficit. Apparently they do, according to Grok.
I don't know how much I trust Grok on some of these answers.
Yeah, I don't either, but I'd be very surprised if they do, but yeah, it could be some sort of accounting gimmick that they always fucking play around with. Like when they say that Bill Clinton fucking balanced the budget, had a budget surplus. No, he didn't. Look at the national debt. It went up every fucking year under Clinton. It's like they just have all these off budget items that they don't include in their budget. So there's never been a fucking surplus. So yeah, who knows? There's maybe some gimmicky shit going on there, but interesting idea. I mean, if I was from New York, I'd fucking love that. I like the idea of, I mean, they're going to spend the money anyway. I'd rather have the American people be able to fucking spend it than the government spending it on all sorts of ridiculous horse shit. But the other thing that we should probably get out of here on a high note is just how fucked the American people are in general and how badly New Yorkers need. I mean, what's $200 going to do for you in New York this day and age? Probably not a whole lot.
You can get your parking pass for the week, maybe, if you're lucky.
Yeah, right. I mean, I haven't been to New York in decades, but I can't imagine $200 going that far, or even 400 for that matter. But the shit, did I lose it? Can you pull up the student loan debt thing?
Yeah, and we got to wrap up pretty quick because I got to go to work.
Yeah, we'll go through this real fast.
Student loan delinquency surge. Hammer credit scores. Southern states hit the hardest. The party is over for millions of Americans who paused payments on their federal student loans over the last several years through pandemic-era forbearance programs. Many had hoped for sweeping loan forgiveness under the Biden-Harris administration, but with the federal government officially resuming collections on defaulted loans this month for the first time in over 5 years, borrowers now face sliding credit scores as delinquency soars. While in April, we warned that the restart could drain as much as $63 billion from the economy.
Yeah, scroll down a little more because it doesn't just deal with student loan debt. It shows you all kinds of shit in here. It's just not painting a very pretty picture. A little farther. Yeah, like over 90 days delinquent. Look at the credit card debt there. Student loan debt shot up. The car stuff, I mean, that's going to be pretty stable, I think, because people need their cars. But yeah, dude, read some of those numbers. I can't really see it, but I read them earlier. They're pretty fucking staggering.
Let's see. So the percentage of by loan type, the percentage of loans that are of collections that are 90 days delinquent. Student loans had dropped way off while everything was paused. And then here, as soon as it came back, it shot up to like 8 or 9% of all student loans are 90 plus days delinquent. Credit cards are around 13% of all credit cards are 90. Like, how the fuck do you even get to 90 days delinquent on anything? That's 3 fucking months.
Yeah. Look at the previous high was from what, like 2010. The depths of the Great Recession. So we're closing in on those highs for credit card debt. But yeah, everything's supposed to be fine with the economy, right? But everybody, like all of these numbers have been just cooked, dude. Like all that extra spending in the GDP over the last 5 years was because nobody was paying off their student loans. They were taking that money and they were buying other shit with it instead of what I was suggesting, to invest it for 5 years and then you could use the dividends to pay your fucking student loans going forward. Probably would have been a good move. But then this credit card debt, I flagged another fucking post here. Is it so like with credit cards they're stopping like issuing credit cards to people because their fucking credit scores are shit and they're so delinquent on things. So now they're all doing these like buy now, pay later things. Those are up 33% of people are now using buy now, pay later to bridge the gap to their next paycheck. 29% of subprime customers have applied and been denied credit cards.
Oh, here you go. Jay sent me this the other day. Costco just announced it's working with a firm to let people pay over time on Costco.com. So you can finance your Costco purchases now.
Yeah. Well, that's a little more reasonable than financing your fucking Chipotle burrito over 4 payments of $3.95. It's like you cannot get out of Costco for less than like $250. It's like impossible. But yeah, 25% of buy now, pay later users are buying groceries, up 14% from last year. 41% of buy now, pay later made a late payment in the past year, up from 34%. Credit card balances are at 1.18 trillion outstanding. So over a trillion in credit card, over $1 trillion in student loans, well over, I think, 37 trillion in the national debt. Like, we are in debt up to our fucking eyeballs. And when all of this fucking spending collapses, the bullshit GDP numbers are going to collapse as well. It's only a matter of time before they actually admit that we're in a recession, I think. And who knows, years from now, they're gonna I'll be like, oh yeah, we were in a recession like this entire time, when we go back and revise all these numbers more accurately. I think this is just the American consumer is tapped out, completely tapped out.
What? We've been in a recession this whole time? Whoever would have thought such a thing? Who would have been saying that for the last 3 years? I don't know. But yeah, they changed the definition of a recession when we went into one officially under the Biden administration. Yeah, I'm not even sure what qualifies as a recession anymore.
That's
right. If you just change the definition of things, then you never have to actually deal with them. Like, well, we'll never be in a recession because we can just keep changing the definition of a recession so that we are never in a recession.
Yeah, in that regard, what's her face? Janet Yellen was right. We're never going to have another economic downturn in her lifetime.
We just changed the definition of downturn, and then we're going to go ahead. It's all good.
Exactly. All right. So enjoy your weekend, everybody. Make sure you max out those credit cards. Like, dude, I've never carried a credit card balance ever. I pay it off every month. If you do that, you get an interest-free loan for a month. If you don't do that, you're looking at like 20% interest payments, and you should never be buying anything with that kind of fucking interest on it. But, you know, tough times for a lot of people. So I don't know. Depressing note, I guess, to go out on Friday, but
there's a happy hour. It'll be fine.
Yeah, nothing a couple drinks won't fix. So let's do it at, what did we decide on? 7:30?
Yeah.
7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm gonna try to go nap until then and get a beach walk in and go to the gym. I got all this shit I got to do. But yeah, I am falling asleep. You got to get to work. So yeah, we'll leave it there. Have a nice weekend. Thanks for listening. And until Tuesday, just keep on peddling that so-called fiction. Peace.